Hey everybody. First of all, oops, I've been recording this stuff in the wrong format, and so mea culpa. I'm fixing it now. My wife was kind enough to get me one of these phone holding things to make the videos fit the right format, so should be right from now on. Second of all, wanted to talk about the benefits of club membership real quick here. So I was just checking out the club page, looking at some info on a snow run that they're doing this weekend that I wasn't able to participate in because I sold the trailer, waiting on the new one to deliver. So I'm stuck at home. And yesterday's weather sucked, so I was inside. One of the guys in the club posted up, "Hey, I've got this slip yoke eliminator kit for an MP231 that I don't need, and I'll take a case of beer for it." Slip yoke eliminator, that's a couple $100 worth of parts easily. And so I was interested. This LJ that we're working on here has an MP231 and a really crusty rear drive shaft, so I was looking at having to replace that anyway. So reached out, asked him about it. Advanced adapters, doesn't get any better than that. He's had it sitting on the shelf for a while. He wasn't too sure if it was complete, but I mean, the biggest parts are here. The back part of the case, output shaft. We got speedometer, gear, and pinion nut, plug. We got the seals, the pinion seals. It does have a non-CV yoke, so that will probably get put on a shelf and not used. I'll probably order a flange for the rear output. Oh, and bearing, and this is an older kit, so it's got the install tool for the bearing. I believe they're installing the bearings now from the factory. But it's just one of those intangible tangibles, if you will. Not everybody likes being in a club, making the hobby formal. Some people are self-stylized lone wolves, whatever. It can be a dangerous hobby. It's better not to go out off-roading alone. Preaching aside, if you got your friends with you, they can try to get you out, or worst case, tell your next of kin what happened. It's a little grim, but it's a reality. You roll a 4,000-pound vehicle over, stuff happens. That aside, beside getting people that'll go off-roading with you, that'll help pull winch lines and spot and hang out at the campfire that night, you get people that will show up when you need to move a vehicle, or when they clean their shelves off, will offer stuff up for a better than fair price, knowing that at some point down the road you're going to pay it forward. If you put that up on a public website, it wouldn't have been a case of beer, it would have been $200 most likely. It's just, when you're getting into something like this, a hobby like this, where there's a lot involved, being in a club just helps. I've been in a couple. One of them doesn't really exist anymore. Currently in another one. Great group of people, very knowledgeable, very helpful. There when you need them, and that's just, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, my core group of friends that I still know from back in the day, one of them rides quads, and then the rest of them really aren't into motorsports, or if they are, they're into go fast, they're into drag strip stuff, that kind of stuff. I don't really have any interest in going 200 miles an hour. So finding people that have the same hobby, have the same interest, And hey, when I can't figure something out or need a hand, I can lift the phone up and get somebody over here. That's a big deal. Most clubs aren't real expensive to be a member of. Honestly, it's a volunteer staffing position, so they typically don't want to bother with monthly dues. It's usually just an annual $20, $50, whatever. So if you're just getting into this, check out your local Jeep groups, check out the local off-road park websites. A lot of times there'll be information there. Ask on Facebook or whatever other public social media sites you're on. You're bound to find something. I live in New York on Long Island, where there is literally no off-roading whatsoever. You can get a beach permit to drive 10 miles an hour on the sand on the beach to set up your fishing stuff. So if there's off-road groups here, off-road clubs here, I should say, you're going to find them in most of the country. So yeah, club stuff aside, this is a solid win. This is, other than the output yoke, this is exactly the kit I would have ordered. So now I just have to decide, am I going to buy a chain and a full rebuild kit, or am I going to just pop this on and call it done? 184,000 miles on the Jeep itself, and some signs of neglect in a lot of areas. I'm thinking the gear oil or transmission fluid in the transfer case is probably original or close to it. So I guess when I pull it down, I'll make that decision and order parts. I did look last night, and it does look like the parts are available. In other news, we still have some staining there, but we don't have quite as much fresh fluid. So that wet there is actually just remnants of last night's rain. So draining the oil from the oil pan and tightening up the bolts on that transmission pan made a big difference in how much fluid we're actually dropping. So that's good. Happy to see that. That's all for this one.